watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
The United States and our allies and partners will emerge from this stronger, more united, more determined, and more purposeful. And Putin's aggression against Ukraine will end up costing Russia dearly, economically and strategically. We will make sure of that.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Vaki.
And I'm Briggs LaSavage. Worldwide condemnation is pouring in tonight, including from the president, as you just heard there, hours after Russia began what U.S. defense officials are calling the initial phase of a full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
President Biden announced tough new sanctions on more Russian banks and imports, stopping short of sanctioning its leader, Vladimir Putin. Though the president says that option is still on the table. Natalie Brand is at the White House with the latest.
By land and by air, Russian military forces continue to advance their invasion of Ukraine, which began late Wednesday night. The Pentagon says Russia fired roughly 100 missiles in this initial phase, targeting Ukraine's military infrastructure and highly populated residential areas.
Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences.
After meetings with his national security team and then G7 world leaders, President Biden unveiled what he describes as unprecedented sanctions against Russia.
We estimate that we'll cut off more than half of Russia's high-tech imports. It'll strike a blow to their ability to continue to modernize their military. It'll degrade their aerospace industry, including their space program.
Meanwhile, NATO says it will activate defense plans to protect its eastern flank. A U.S. defense official says around 7,000 additional U.S. troops will deploy to Germany. President Biden says he will not send U.S. forces into Ukraine. They are there to shore up NATO, though the U.S. has sent hundreds of millions of dollars in military equipment to help Ukrainians defend their country.
We do not expect anyone to fight for us, but we expect all the help and all the response the West can send to us.
U.S. forces in Poland have set up camps to receive refugees from Ukraine, while loved ones here in the U.S. fear for their safety.
It's painful to see my family being on both sides, being in Ukraine and being in Russia.
Demonstrators took to the streets around the U.S. to stand in solidarity with Ukraine. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Members of Congress from both sides of the aisle have been largely united in their condemnation of Russian President Vladimir Putin. They are receiving an unclassified briefing from top Biden administration officials this afternoon.
In Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers says he's praying for the people of Ukraine. The Democrat condemned the attack and supports efforts to hold Russia accountable. And Republican Congressman Pete Stauber represents Minnesota's 8th congressional district. He tweeted this morning saying Putin's unprovoked invasion is unacceptable and the U.S. must stand strong with Ukraine and our allies. Coming up tonight at 6 and 10, we'll hear from other local lawmakers as the Northland and the world react.
Meanwhile, Ukrainians living here in the Northland are watching closely, some growing more and more anxious.
CBS 3's Rob Coles spoke with a couple who's worried about their loved ones back home.
Well, Kristen and Briggs, Igor Kolomitsyn grew up in Ukraine but came to Duluth with his wife, Oksana, back in 1997 to work as a research chemist. He says he comes from a large family and most of them still live in Ukraine. Many of his family members live in and around Kyiv. He says he's been up all night constantly communicating with them using social media apps like Skype and Telegram. That's been his only lifeline to know how they're doing. And he's worried that soon his family may not have access to the internet anymore. Through chat and phone calls, family members told him that shortly after the invasions, there was a rush on supplies.
In the morning it was panicking, a lot of panicking, a lot of people were panic, rushed to the stores, tried to get food up front, tried to get medicine up front. I was trying to convince my sister to leave the area. She refused to leave the area. She said, it's our land, we're gonna stand there.
Now, Kolomitsyn says he's preparing a contingency plan to communicate with family members if the internet goes down. He says he's heard from many of his younger relatives that they're joining the Ukrainian military to help. He's hoping the U.S. and the EU will also help Ukraine in its time of need. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from Kolomitsky's wife and his sister from her home near Kyiv.
Thank you, Rob. Meanwhile, the economic ripple effect from this escalating conflict is growing and already impacting Minnesota. It started at the gas pump with prices ticking up and has continued onto Wall Street, where the stock market went down. Experts say more waves are likely. An economics professor at the University of Minnesota says the conflict has the potential to make inflation worse. That means paying even more to fill up your car or shop at the grocery store.
If Europe is embroiled in a big mess with the millions of refugees and violence and disruption of trade, that's going to have an effect on the world economy.
Several Minnesota companies conduct business in Ukraine, including Toro, 3M, Cargill, and ADM. Coming up tonight at 10, hear how those companies plan to protect their staff stationed along the Russian border and other parts of Ukraine. Now here's a look at where gas prices stand right now. According to AAA, nationwide, the average price per gallon is $3.53, up 21 cents from about a month ago. Both Minnesota and Wisconsin's averages are below that, but both have also risen about 25 cents since January. In the Northland, $3.26 a gallon is about average in St. Louis County, with Douglas County slightly above that at $3.38 a gallon.
The U.S. is bracing for Russian cyber attacks as the country imposes sanctions against Russia. A senior FBI cyber official warned businesses and local governments to be vigilant against potential ransomware attacks. Multiple U.S. agencies issued a similar warning to executives at major banks. Russia has shown an ability to cause significant disruption and damage in cyberspace in the past. Some of the biggest cyber attacks against U.S. infrastructure in the past 2 years have been linked to suspected Russian hackers.
New at 5, a Minnesota jury found 3 former Minneapolis police officers guilty of violating George Floyd's civil rights. J. Alexander King, Thomas Lane, and Tu Tao were convicted on all federal charges against them today. For all 3 of them, that includes not stopping Derek Chauvin when he knelt on Floyd's neck the day he died. For Tao and King, it also includes not rendering medical aid. The jury deliberated for about 13 hours. Floyd's death in May of 2020 sparked protests in Minneapolis that then spread around the globe. Chauvin was convicted of murder last year in state court and then pleaded guilty in December to the federal case. The 3 other officers still need to go through their state trial later this year.
Dave joins us now for a first look at the weather. Dave, Mother Nature really showing off, first with the snow, now with the very, very cold temperatures.
It was awfully cold, but that cold brings a certain kind of beauty. So we do need to start by taking a live look up towards the Effie area, where the sky is blue and the snow is white and the trees are standing proudly. They'll be green in maybe 2 months, but we'll have to wait until then for that. Yeah, it came up cold this morning. There's a look at the low temperatures. I was predicting 30 below up north, and frankly, we got 10 degrees colder than that. 40 below International Falls, 37 below Hibbing, 38 below Ely, 29 degrees below 0 Grand Rapids, pretty close to the mark. 13 below here for many of us in the Twin Ports, 21 below Hayward, 21 below also for Ironwood. And we're going to be cold again tonight, my friends. Another wind chill advisory in effect overnight tonight for Minnesotans. Actual air temps in Minnesota could go from about 10 to 25 below, and the wind chill factor goes towards 40 below. In Wisconsin and Michigan tonight, there's a chance for some clouds and a little light snow, so it won't be as cold there. And then we all equalize to the cooler side, but sunny side again tomorrow. Come Saturday, there's a hint of a warm-up. We'll talk about how far and for how long coming up in a couple more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5, one Superior High School student is using her senior project to help fellow athletes. How you can support her mission in City by City, next.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Ralph Eye Care Specialists.
Stretch your dollar with 11% off everything at Menards. Update and beautify your living space with high quality and unique sliding barn doors from Colonial Elegance. Give your home a rustic look with new doors for any room in the house. With over 20 styles, you can add personality to match your unique decor. Get 11% off all Colonial Elegance doors. Get 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Tired of the cold? Then shop for your next vehicle during Kerry Toyota's annual indoor used car sale. We're filling the showroom with used vehicles and slashing prices. Every eligible used vehicle at Kerry Toyota comes with a Carfax quality inspection report and manufacturer powertrain warranty. Plus, with your used car purchase, receive a Kerry Toyota gift pack valued over $300. Hurry to experience the quality difference during Kerry Toyota's annual indoor used car sale. Voted best car dealer 22 times.
I'm telling you, you should open a business.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
I've got an idea.
I hope you like it.
I love it. Just one question. What's that?
It's a chair. New plan. You make the furniture, I make the ideas, NBC makes them happen.
That was always the plan.
Bring us your best ideas. National Bank of Commerce. We make more possible.
Come on down to Hannah Johnson Fabrics and Sewing Studio in Lakeside Marketplace. Don't know where to start? Visit our new sewing classroom and studio. Whether you're a brand new sewist or you've sewn for years, we have a class for you at Hannah Johnson Fabrics. We'll help you get your projects going with our huge selection of high-quality designer and specialty fabrics. Our friendly staff will help you find exactly what you need. Come see us in person or register for classes online at hannahjohnsonfabrics.com.
Stay connected to live local CBS 3. Check out our exclusive content on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our mobile app, and join the conversation on today's big stories.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News, live at 5. Here's a live look from Spirit Mountain tonight. It's a bit cold out there still, but a much welcomed warm-up may be on its way. Dave will be in with this week's full forecast in just a few minutes, but first, let's take a look around the region.
A safety reminder as communities dig out from this week's snow, and an adventurous new race coming to Hoyt Lakes. All of that and more as we take you around the Northland, city by city. We start things off in Superior tonight, where one student is using her senior project to help future athletes. Paige Sanders started the program called Shoes for Spartans. It will provide gently used athletic shoes to student athletes in need. All students are eligible to utilize the service. Athletes simply ask their head coach for access to the shoes and hopefully find a pair that works for them. Sanders is currently collecting shoes for the project, from all types of cleats to sport-specific shoes such as basketball or wrestling. Next, we head to Ashland, Wisconsin with an important message from Xcel Energy. They're reminding homeowners this week to be sure to clear out snow and ice from their natural gas meters. Places like Ashland and Washburn saw well over 2 feet of snow in this week's storm. Blocked meters can cause dangerous natural gas buildup indoors and potentially result in loss of heat in some homes. They recommend using a shovel to clear ice and snow and be sure the roof or nearby trees aren't dripping onto the pipes. And we wrap up in Hoyt Lakes tonight with an exciting new race coming to the area this summer. The Diocese of Duluth and other partners are sponsoring the event that will feature 3 out and back races inside the Superior National Forest. Called the Duluth Diocese Adventure Races, there will be a trail marathon, half marathon, and 5K. Races will be held on July 30th with camping available the night before. Organizers kept registration fees low to encourage the whole family to attend, and racers will receive shirts and other prizes. We will have more information on this nature race and all of today's stories on our website. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland, city by city.
Still to come on Live at 5, a lack of one key position might affect your days at the beach this summer. Details in just a few minutes.
Days at the beach. That'll be coming hopefully in a few months, but right now we're dealing with the cold. Dropped to 13 below this morning for the Twin Ports. A lot colder towards northern Minnesota. We're going to do it again in Minnesota tomorrow morning, though it will be just a little bit warmer for Wisconsin and the UP. We'll talk about why coming up after our break.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-476-5600. That's 1-800-476-5600 now.
We had to kind of go back to the drawing board of who's on board with just brainstorming what else we can do to build school community. Now it's constant. We just can't stop. We can't turn it off.
You know, you can make the best out of any situation. I want my students to take with them the love of the language, the love of acceptance of being who they are and who they can be.
Just follow me. I'll lead the way.
There's always something new under the sun.
Oh, you just put me in a good mood.
CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Stay connected to live local CBS 3. Check out our exclusive content on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our mobile app, and join the conversation on today's big stories. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, another night, another wind chill advisory. This time around, just like last night, it's for Minnesotans. Wind chill advisory will cover from Carleton County up to the top of Koochiching County. Actual air temps this time around should go towards 25 below around International Falls. And with the wind chill factor factored in, it'll feel like 40 below. Folks in Wisconsin and Michigan are off the hook from this, and that's because a low from the south is trying to reach up. They'll have thicker cloud cover and a 60% chance for light snow. Light snow means about a trace to maybe an inch there and should go away by tomorrow morning. We'll talk more about the forecast, of course, after we look at the current conditions from Duluth International. Still some sunshine up there thanks to high pressure and 7 above, which of course is drastically cooler than normal. We're supposed to be around 28 this time of year. We missed the mark by 21 degrees. Wind is southerly 7 miles per hour, so if it wasn't a southerly wind, it'd be even colder. Relative humidity 61%. Wind chill factor now a tolerable 5 below, but again, it'll pick up after sunset and get pretty chilly for Minnesotans. Another night to bundle up. Current temps above 0 in Minnesota, only 4 above, but we'll count that as positive in International Falls. 9 for Evelyn and the Quad Cities, 10 towards Cloquet, a little warmer Moose Lake. Grand Rapids at 11, 2 for Two Harbors, 10 in La Pointe, 10 in Solon Springs, 11 Superior, and for Ironwood, 14 down towards Hayward. As I mentioned, actual air temps tonight should go from 10 to 25 below for Minnesotans and maybe about 1 below to 10 below for Wisconsin and the UP. Slowly warming up. By Saturday, though, we should warm up back to normal. If the normal was 28, I think we can achieve that. I'll talk about for how long here in just a little bit. Right now, sunshine from Arctic high pressure. So temperatures cold, but plenty of blue sun. Here's that low pressure system to the south that's trying to push clouds up into Wisconsin and Michigan and create that light snow chance. Let's see if it's paying off right now. And we're getting some of the clouds over there, but are not seeing much in the way of snow showers. Those are still down towards the south. Keep in mind, folks, from Bayfield Peninsula to the Upper Peninsula, you have about a 60% chance, indeed, for a trace to an inch of snow by tomorrow morning. Then the high will take over, but the cold will leave. And even though the high will chase away the lows, a warm front coming in from the west is what's going to bump our temperatures up. And once we get into Saturday, I think that'll bring us mild conditions. Temps in the upper 20s. And again, now with the 7-day forecast, we show you how long those will be sticking around. Tonight, they're not here yet. No, Minnesota low temps 5 below by the lake to 25 below inland with a mostly cloudy sky. For Wisconsin and Michigan, 60% chance for that light snow with low temps there running about 1 to 9 below. Superior will be the cold spot. For tomorrow, though, coming back up a bit temperature-wise, In Wisconsin and Michigan, about 17 to 20. Those snow showers should end early in the morning. For Minnesotans, mostly sunny sky with highs from 13 to 18. Not bad, but still 10 degrees off the mark at least. But the mark, we hit it on Saturday, 29 degrees above zero. And the morning low will be 1 degree above zero. Then we stay in the 20s pretty much for the next week, Kristen and Briggs. Daring indeed to go back to 28 on Tuesday, even lower 30s next Wednesday, Thursday. For the most part, a dry week ahead. 2 exceptions. Slight chance for flurries on Tuesday and maybe a rain-snow mix next Thursday because temperatures near the freezing mark could bring in a touch of rain along with a touch of snow.
Gotta love that little warm icon, though, on Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. But, of course, as usual, we got to pay a price to the fiddler here. You know, it may be slippery next Thursday, so be prepared to keep your winter driving skills intact.
All right, will do. Thanks, Dave. Duluth leaders will narrow down the field for the newest city councilor tonight. There's an at-large seat open after Derek Medved stepped down earlier this month to focus on his business. Tonight, current city councilors will interview the 25 people who applied for his seat. The top 3 will move on to the final round of interviews Monday. That's when the council will appoint a new member. The interview started at 5:15 tonight. You can watch along online. We have a link to that on our website.
A nationwide staffing shortage could impact how you spend your summer in Duluth. Finding enough lifeguards for public pools and beaches has been a challenge for the past 2 years, but the Duluth area YMCA says it's hit a new low. The downtown Duluth, Hermantown, and Park Point beaches are all short on staff. They'll need to double the amount of lifeguards they currently have in order to keep all of their facilities open this summer.
People who can swim well enough to be able to pass the lifeguard course, but then also have the desire to really be around water and help to keep others safe.
This is a paid position and training is provided. We have an information on how to apply at cbs3duluth.com.
It's that time of the show where we get to talk about adoptable pets, and today's pet comes to us from Range Regional Animal Rescue in Hibbing, and he is a cutie.
Yeah, he is. His name is Colt. He's a 3-year-old lab and pit bull mix. Our friends at the shelter describe him as a big old boy who's lovable as a teddy bear and strong as a grizzly. They added, however, that he takes a little warming up at first, so he'll need to go to a home that's willing to be patient with him. But yeah, Kristen, you said it. Just those eyes.
Look at that face. Very cute. Well, if you would like to set up an appointment to adopt Colt, you can call the number on your screen. Still to come, a long weekend of fun is in store as the Berkey returns to Hayward this week. More from today's Barky Berkey after the break.
At Ralph Eye Care Specialists, we help your family see well. We check your child's need for glasses, and we screen for problems which are best treated early in life. We test your parents for diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma. These often have no early symptoms, so regular eye exams are important. And we care for you, providing routine and emergency care for your lifetime. Call now to schedule an appointment at Ralph Eye Care Specialists.
There are so many options with Medicare, I don't know where to start.
If you're new to Medicare, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota can help you understand your Medicare benefits and choices with this free guide. With 96% of Minnesota doctors and hospitals in the Blue Cross network, plus a broad selection of affordable Medicare plans developed for Minnesotans by Minnesotans, it's no wonder nearly 1 out of 2 Minnesota seniors has a Blue Cross Medicare plan. From Bemidji to Blue Earth, Twin Cities to Two Harbors, Blue Cross has you covered. Call now for your free copy of the step-by-step guide to Medicare from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. You'll find the answers you need in this easy-to-understand guide. There is absolutely no obligation.
The guide laid it all out so clearly. It helped me understand what Medicare does and doesn't cover, and how I could add coverage if I wanted to.
Perhaps you're thinking about a Medicare Advantage plan. Blue Cross has you covered there as well. Blue Cross offers Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage and many other benefits, some starting at a $0 monthly plan premium.
I get to keep my doctor, and I'm saving money. Can't beat that.
My cost for an x-ray was $0.
Plus, select plans include $0 copays on insulin and preferred generic medications. Blue Cross Medicare Advantage plans also provide extra perks at no extra cost.
From dental, hearing, and vision benefits to Silver Sneakers fitness memberships, and even benefits for over-the-counter medications.
Thanks to Blue Cross, I understand how Medicare works, my options, and what the cost might be.
So whether you're watching from Worthington or tuning in from Tonka Bay, pick up the phone and call for your free step-by-step guide to Medicare from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota. Call or go online now. You and Blue, because together is better.
At Bath Planet, our bathrooms are maintenance-free, made in the USA, and professionally installed by our certified installers to ensure your job will be done right the first time. For the month of February, we are offering no interest, no payments, and nothing down until 2023. We are also giving you 50% off all labor. Our products are backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval, so give us a call or go online to book your appointment today. Bath Planet, out of this world service, down to earth price.
Don't let the weather ruin your day. Dave Anderson, Peter Kevitkauskas, and Bo Fogel. The CBS 3 weather team, tracking more than just severe storms.
The Berkey has returned to Hayward, and today was all about the dogs and their human athletes. Hundreds competed in the Berkey, which is a ski-joring race that ended in downtown Hayward. The kids also took the stage with the Barna Berkey and the Junior Berkey. It was a breath of fresh air for many athletes today, as last year's Berkey week was heavily modified due to pandemic restrictions. Skiers had the option to participate in the 55K race virtually, and in-person competitors were split into different waves to help everyone spread out. Executive Director Ben Popp says in a normal year, roughly 13,000 athletes flocked to Hayward, but last year there were only around 4,000. He says this year they are thrilled to have the event back to normal.
There's some certainly serious racers out here that want to go really fast, but at the end of the day, I will tell you 95% of the people out here just want to have fun, see friends.
This year's Berkey started yesterday and carries through the weekend with the biggest races Saturday. You can find a full schedule on our website.
Linda Wright, star of the House of Blues in New Orleans, has a special bond with the Northland town. For the last 4 years, Wright has been traveling from Louisiana up to Cotton, north of Duluth, putting on a concert to raise money for the town's old school. The school is a nonprofit offering all kinds of services to the community. But after helping Cotton all this time, Hurricane Ida destroyed Wright's New Orleans home back in August. So now Cotton residents are holding a fundraiser to help her. It's dinner and a concert tomorrow night at the Old School Auditorium. We have a link to buy the tickets on our website.
Here's what we're working on tonight. The Russian invasion into Ukraine begins. Heavy bombing, artillery attacks, and paratroopers dropping near the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Tonight, the White House reaction and what President Biden is promising as punishment for Putin. Plus, an update on the thousands of troops the Pentagon is deploying to the region as fighting on the front line intensifies. And a moment of reflection as war returns to Europe for the first time since World War II. The CBS Evening News is just minutes away.
CBS 3 closed captioning is brought to you by Essentia Health St. Mary's Heart and Vascular Center. Visit essentiahealth.org/myheart to take our free online heart health risk assessment.
Winter, where cold meets play. Adventure authentically with Frost River.
Hi, folks. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. 1, call the number on your screen. 2, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. 3, they'll check for plans with extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare coverage helpline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-476-5600. That's 1-800-476-5600 now.
When you watched CBS 3.
In fact, we're learning police have shut down the Superior-bound lanes of the Bong Bridge. Officers told me just minutes ago these are some of the worst road conditions they've ever seen.
You got up-to-date coverage right down to your neighborhood.
A few more hours of snow could be coming. I'll talk about total.
Live, local, CBS 3. Stay connected to Live Local CBS 3. Check out our exclusive content on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as our mobile app, and join the conversation on today's big stories.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News, live at 5. Here's a live look from Canal Park on this Thursday evening. Let's take a look back at today's top story and see what's coming up at 6.
Tonight at 5, we had the latest as all 3 former Minneapolis police officers were found guilty of violating George Floyd's civil rights. J. Alexander King, Thomas Lane, and Tu Tao were all charged with not doing enough to intervene when fellow former officer Derek Chauvin murdered Floyd.
And tonight at 6, as the world watches the Russian invasion of Ukraine, for one Northland couple, it truly hits home. We'll hear from them at 6.
That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is next.
We'll see you back here at 6.